for individuals, like, I value my freedom. And when I say freedom, I'm using the word freedom as the freedom to make the choices that I think are in my best interest. I don't think that the American public school system is in my best interest. Well, guess what? Certain states within the United States force you to send your kids to public school or document in the same way as public schools the way that you homeschool them. We call those homeschool unfriendly states. Other states in the United States will let you homeschool your children, and all you have to do is basically sign like a little document every year that says, I taught my kids this year. So even within the United States, different states have different rules about how you teach your children at home. Well, I'm going to exercise my freedom to live in a state that is homeschool friendly so that I can raise my children with a mindset that is contrary to the public school mindset. I don't want my kids to believe that lines are everywhere and that this is the peg for their jacket. I want my kids to believe and understand sometimes you put your jacket on a peg because it helps everybody else. Sometimes you put your jacket any damn where you please because your jacket cannot end up on the ground, because your jacket could save your life someday in a rainstorm or a weather storm or a winter storm, right? So I want to give my children the context to understand either or, whereas most of the government regulated world doesn't give you either or. They give you one way, right? This is the amount of taxes you have to pay based on your income. This is the speed that you have to go on the road. This is what time the business opens. This is the price of the object, right? It's just incredible because when you think about it, you realize it's laughable, right? You go to a supermarket and they say milk is $3.65, and you're like, oh, well, I'm glad I had $3.65. You go to a corner market in Portugal and they have a price that's literally written in pencil, and you go and you say, can I have that milk for $2? And the person at the cash register decides yes or no, right? We're training everybody, like we're training our own people to think in a limited capacity. When imagine what would be possible for everybody, for all the men listening now, Connor, think what would be possible if they could give themselves permission to think outside of the conditioning that they had as children. If they could think outside of the conditioning that was given to them by their college degrees. If they could think outside of the conditioning that was given to them by their parents or even by their current spouse, right? What could be possible if we just gave ourselves permission to think this is all just a confine contextually applied over a society that needs me to be predictable? I'm not saying you need to go start shooting your neighbors and, rioting in the streets.
Raiding the Whole Foods.
But a 2% change for anybody who's ever held a compass and gone for a hike, 2 degrees different from your current heading in 10 miles becomes a whole different adventure.